Okay. Welcome to my backyard. Hopefully the sound is good with the AirPods. I've never used these before. They're not that comfortable for me, but they don't fit very well. But we'll make do. So have a seat, get comfortable. If you can see my mat's usually long ways facing the camera, but have your mat long ways facing the camera as well. Should be the best option with one block on either end. We're going to be doing some moon salutations today, which step long ways side to side and help us cool down the body and move very slowly and intuitively, as opposed to a sun salutation, which would move one breath, one movement. But we're going to take our time with it as a way to nurture and feel. Full moons are about our emotions. All moon energy is about emotion. The moon is emotion. And on the full moon, it's illuminating what what we keep hidden or shy away from seeing or feeling. So it really lets us see where we need to continue our healing, and also what our default emotion might be. Like, what emotion has been coming up for you more recently, and is it the default one? We all have a default emotion. Capricorn is an earth sign, and the last earth sign, so it's a bit wiser and industrial in that. And it's about responsibility to community or the world or outside of the home, while Cancer's all about responsibility to self and what our innate essence is, like our home frequency, not the home emotion, but the home frequency. Okay, so my Wi-Fi kicked out. I'm gonna not go Wi-Fi, and hopefully I can cut and paste this together. So we were talking just about how Capricorn and Cancer have very similar aspects, yet an oppositional quality to them. Cancer is about self, responsibility to self, how do we care for ourselves? And Capricorn is about community outside of the home, job, responsibilities outside of the home, and your ripple effect into the world. So it's really a way to help us find the balance of how we care for self and others, and where we might need to shift things for that to be harmonious. And yeah, I think that's it. So with that in mind, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Start to slow down your breath by widening the bottom ribs. Feel your hands connect to the light within your heart center, but also your center in general, the center line of the body, bringing right to left together, or the sun and moon together. Thinking of these aspects of the moon energy, start to engage with where you need to shift or see what's illuminated for you to set your intention. Full moons are about release, not so much setting intentions, but let's set our intention for practice in what we need to release in order to have the balance between caring for ourselves and others. If it makes sense to see your intention as an image in your heart center, I kind of see that image in a bubble of light in the center of my chest. Feel yourself in the image if you can see it. Our emotions are the gateway to wisdom. When we allow ourselves to feel our emotions, we get wiser to our life experience and how that has affected our true essence and where we need to release to reach our highest potential. So always look at your emotions as a gateway to understanding. It's not always comfortable, and growth never happens in the comfort zone. So take another few breaths, aligning with the intention and the image of it if you can see that. And then let your inhale draw it out of your heart, place it in your palms. Your exhale, release the hands, opening the eyes, and let's come into tabletop. You might want to pad your knees. Starting to move through some cow and cat. So spread through the fingers, tuck the toes if you like that. Inhale, drop the belly arch, flatten the tops of the feet. Exhale, round. Take a few at your own pace. Maybe eyes stay closed to stay in your inner wisdom, your inner gaze. Maybe each round gets a little bit more expressive or expansive. 3 more. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze in your cow and draw wide in your cat, helping to open up the doorway of the heart, front to back, past to future. Come into neutral spine. Draw right leg and left arm parallel to the ground. Inner spiral the thigh, toes, knee, foot, hip face straight down. Left thumb straight up. Hug the ribs in and push the floor away. Take another full breath. Inhale, stretch away, maybe lift higher. Exhale, knee to nose, round your back and let your left arm swing back behind you. Inhale, stretch long, 2 more like that, straight through the midline, through the knee. Inhale, stretch long, this time knee goes wide, 3 times. And then cross, knee to opposite shoulder, 3 times. Stretch long, left hand down, right foot out to the side. Maybe it's straight out to the side or maybe further back, what feels best in your hip, but try to tug the right hip down. Then sit your hips back a little bit, feel the inner seam of your right leg. Maybe the hands crawl back or to the right. You can really do anything here to access what you need to feel and how much you need to feel in the inner seam of the right leg. Maybe there's a little rock. Go ahead and flex the right toes. Feel like your tail is lifting, belly is strong, just deepening the stretch. And then bring the toes back down, hands under shoulders, hug the belly. We're gonna float the right leg, kick it out, kick it straight back, and then toes to the floor, press through the heel. You can lift your tail or scoop it under, feel what's the best for your right leg. Usually it's the calf stretch the most. And then press into the hands on your right foot, lift your hips, lift your left knee, and try and tap knee to nose. Find plank pose from here, left foot meets right, shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders, push the floor away, round your upper back, or take the shoulder blades wide, hug into your solar plexus, find your willpower, will to transform. Right knee comes down, left leg kicks up, right arm forward, pause, breathe, inward spiral the thigh. And then inhale, stretch and reach, maybe lift higher 3 times through midline. Exhale, round the back of the nose. And then wide 3 times. And then cross. It's harder on the side. Stretch along, right hand down, left foot out to the side. Sit the hips back till you feel your stretch. Move the hips. Try to keep the left hip level and down with the right as best as you comfortably can. Don't force anything. Relax the shoulders out of your neck. Then flex the left foot. Come back to center. Pick up the left leg, kick it out. Swing it straight back. Toes face the floor. Toes hit the floor. Get into the leg stretch. Might feel best to scoop or arch. Arch feels better for me. And then anchor into your hands and left toes. Maybe your toes come in a little bit closer so your shoulders are stacked. And lift the hips, lift the right knee, and drop your head to your knees. See if you can tap. This time we're going to take right foot forward. Drop the lunge and asana, right foot forward. Feel that you're at your end range. Hands can be on blocks, the floor, or on your thigh. But get into that end range with the right heel down so you feel a really intense stretch, top of the left hip flexor. Anjane. But now we're gonna hug the heel and knee together so the hips lift a bit and the stretch changes. It goes a little bit further down the thigh. One more breath. So you can sit a little taller in the heart. Then bring right hand up to the thigh and the right knee straight up on the heel. And we're gonna lift the left knee and hug it in underneath the hip and twist to the right. Look at the belly button and feel something get more intense through the lower right side of the waist. And then hug your left shoulder back. Pull shoulder blades down the back. And from here, you can inhale the right arm up if you choose. Also option to pick up the left knee. And then lower the left knee, right hand to the thigh, left arm straight overhead, face the front of your mat edge, and then scoop the tail under. Anchor your right hand into the knee, hug the left arm bone down, shoulder blade back, and bring your left hand behind your head and press into it. Relax the right side, and then lift up through your left and lean to the right. So we're scooping the tail under, trying to access this really nice, deep psoas stretch here. You might pull ribs back, lean back, and then to the left, then to the right to feel it through the left. If you have good flexibility, maybe your right arm's on the floor or a block. I like forearm up here on the thigh. One more breath. Inhale, left arm leads you back up to center. Release the hands. And then crawl the left knee back and the right foot forward to find runner stretch, left hip stacked on the knee. Flex your right foot, dig into the heel, pull it back, wrap the right hip underneath you. Notice if it's lifted higher. And notice also when you pull it down that you get a deeper hamstring stretch. And then take 3 rounds of breath trying to find cow and cat. It's hard. So feel the thighs pull back, the tail lift, the heart lift. And then exhale, just let the spine come forward and the head relax. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round and fold. One more. And exhale. Inhale, try to get as lifted in the spine as you can and let your left hand give the right leg some love. Help that stretch soften with a little massage. Left hand comes down, right hand inside the leg. Actually, let's not do that quite yet. Let's do this instead. Step down to the right foot. Inhale, slide forward, and then arms lift anywhere for Anjaneyasana. On the exhale, let your hands come back to the floor and slide back to runners, flexing the foot and bow. Inhale, forward, Anjaneya. Exhale, runners stretch. One more time. Now, right hand inside the foot, pick up the right leg, kick it out to the right, pivot it to the back of the mat, close the hip, toes down, knee down. Left foot steps forward. Get into the end range of your Anjaneya stretch here, or low lunge. Left heel stays down, but the knee can go as far forward as feels good for your right hip. And feel how the stretch is really high, all the way up at the hip point there, the Asas point. And breathe. Try to lift the chest, get light in the heart. Think about the power of opening up the front of the hip, helping to free some tension or create some space so that you're more able to pick up that foot and take a step forward. Not letting fear stop you. Squeeze your heel and knee together. Feel the stretch change. And breathe. Bring the left knee straight on the heel, left hand on the leg, and twist to the right. You can bring the right knee in. Look at the belly button. Rock the right shoulder back, both shoulder blades down the back. Option to float the right knee. Right knee comes back down, but hug it in underneath, and then unwrap the twist, right arm overhead. Pull it down into the socket, shoulder blade back, right hand drops behind the head and press into it. Hug the ribs and belly in, scoop the tail, lean back, then to the left. Getting more into the right, so as deep in the belly here. So our psoas muscles are intimately connected to the first three chakras from where they are in the physical body. And it's a muscle that is activated by our fight, flight, fear response, right? So when it's supple and strong yet flexible, it helps us take those leaps of faith, come back up to center, frame the front foot, crawl the right knee back, inhale, open up to Anjane. And then exhale, hands down. We'll crawl the left foot forward for runner's stretch. Feel like your left hip is hugged underneath you, hips are square. Dig down into your left heel, pull the thighs back, shoulder blades back, even the chin back. Right hand can help soothe that tension. Loving massage. Feels really nice. Right hand comes back down. We're gonna move with the breath. Inhale, find space and length. Exhale, bow, let go of the head. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, find some space. Pull the foot back and lunge into Anjane. Inhale the arms anywhere you want. Exhale, frame the foot, runner stretch, and bow. Inhale, forward, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, fold. One more time. Come up to center, left hand inside the leg, kick it out, spin it back, toes face the floor, toes hit the floor, and then release the knee. Take a cow cat. And then lift or tuck the toes. Bring the width of your hands one palm width forward and float the knees a little bit into this hovering tabletop. And then sit the hips back so you really feel the challenge in the thighs. And let that push you in the place where you want to quit. And then dig deeper, hug your bottom ribs, and that's our willpower again, and our will to transform our life. We need to digest things in our world to keep us motivated, keep us in the fight. So stay in the fight. It's such a big challenge here. And breathe. Take the shoulders out of the neck. Hug your forearms together. 3 more breaths. Lift the hips. Downward dog, pedal it out. Maybe your feet wiggle back a little bit. Don't take it too short, dog. And then grip your fingertips, base knuckles, feel the hand, and from your palm, cup up your armpit. cup up into your armpits. And then hug your bottom ribs and lift your tail. Keep all of that upper body action to press the heels back. Let go of the head. Soften the knees, lift the heels, look forward, and step forward. And bow over your legs. Your block is here. If your spine rounds a lot to hit the floor, so give yourself a little help so your legs can press straight and your spine's not too rounded. A rounded spine frequently is really bad for you. Occasionally, not so much, but when we're on the mat and we do things over and over again, it's just, I think, more important to just not do it. We do it so much in our day. Let's not do it on the mat. So bring the floor closer with a block. Hug your bottom ribs in, press the thighs back, tone your quads, then let the head relax. Maybe the elbows bend so the hinge comes at the hip crease. One more breath. And soften your knees with a straight spine. Inhale all the way up, reach overhead. Hands to prayer, into the heart. And then we're going to step to face the long edge of the mat. And we're ready to start our moon salutations. Let me get this out of the way. So from the left side of the mat, find your footing, hip width together. And on your inhale, reach out and up. Exhale to the left. You can push your hips to the right if it feels good to do so. On your inhale, come on up. And exhale, step to 5-pointed star to the right. Take a breath, feel your feet. And bring your heels in. Goddess pose, bending the elbows. Thighs go back, knees widen to face in line with the middle 3 toes. Chest lifted, shoulder blades down the back. 5-pointed star, kick the heels out. Take your left foot to the short edge. Tack the hips to the right. Right thigh presses back, left quad tones. Extend your left arm over your left leg. The Trikonasana, triangle pose, right arm spirals up. You have your block here if you need it. I'm going to take my right foot long, like a long stance here. Keep the thighs toned. From your feet, pull into your hips. From your right hip, push down into the ground, and then let the shoulders open up. The energy around your heart open up. Maybe your gaze opens up to the right thumb. Looking down, we're going to take the right hand down, frame up your left foot, and pick up your right heel. And now bring it shorter if you need to anchor the heel to the midline. So your toes have a 45-ish degree angle from the heel. And we'll crawl the hands any amount up the left leg to get a straight spine. In Parsvottanasana or pyramid pose here. I have clasped hands on the left thigh and they're pressing into each other. Take the arms out of the heart, feel your heart beaming forward, left hip pulling back, upper thighs hugged in tight. Maybe you keep your length as you hinge in more. Hands can come down the leg or to the floor. Soften the left knee, release the hands, pick up the right heel, bring the right foot back so you can bring your knee down, bending into the left knee, Anjaneyasana. Any arm variation you like. Feel your ribs hug in and pull back to lift and curl open. Lift your head. Bring your left elbow inside your knee, your left toes to the top corner. Hands on the floor. We're going to pick up the right knee, take the right heel down and flex the foot and come down into Skandasana. If this doesn't work for you, you can be in Warrior 2 or anywhere in the hips here. Even sit down the block. Try to keep the left heel down and the hands up if you can. Right leg super strong here, heel pulling in. You can open to Lotus Mudra here. Pinky and thumb stay together, the 3 middle fingers widen out. Hands come down, walk you to the middle of the mat. Heels come in, Goddess. And then we go to Skandasana to the right. Let your hands come down, crawl the left foot away so that you can get as low as is comfortable. Right arm inside the knee. Maybe the hands come up, you find Lotus. Draw the hands down, start to pivot to the right edge. Drop the left knee, Anjaneyasana. Any arm variation. Hug your ribs in to lift them up and curl open. Frame up the right foot. Pick up the back knee. Oh my goodness. Technical difficulties today. Parsvottanasana. Left heel at 45-degree angle. Draw your hands up any amount. Clasp and press into each other so your spine is really long. From your right big toe, pull the right hip back. Press down into your left pinky edge. Hug all around the spine. And breathe. Release your hands to the floor. Step your left foot back, perpendicular now to the right for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Feel your left thigh press back, your right thigh tone and spiral outward, and your lower belly twist up, maybe look up. And from your feet, let your left arm pull you up. Right toes face the long edge. Step to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the right. And inhale, come up, hands to the heart. Just pause and breathe. We're halfway through our one salutation. Feel and notice. Inhale, come back, or exhale to the right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, step wide. Right toes to the right. Hips go to the left. We find triangle pose. Open it up. Take your time here. Feel the power of your thighs, the foundation of which we create the partnerships in our life. Balance our own energy. Follow our passions in harmony, not leading to addictions. Go in our hips here. So feel the feet pull into the hips and spiral open the chest. Let the heart shine from that foundation. Look down. Step the left foot in, Parsvottanasana. You can be on a block or on the leg. Feel your right hip move back. Tone the quads. Exhale, bow in a little bit more here. Soften the right knee. Step the left foot back. Anjaneyasana. Any arm variation. Maybe this time the fingers are stretching down. Skandasana. Right elbow comes inside the knee. Left leg extends out. Hands can be anywhere that support you. Maybe it's our lotus. Hands to the middle of the mat. Come through center. Heels come in. Goddess. Give yourself a little break. Come up to 5-pointed star. Hands toward the left foot. Come all the way down. Right foot's going to widen out into our Skandasana here on the left. Anjane facing the left. Right knee comes down. Any arms. Pyramid pose. Frame the left foot. Lift the right knee. Step the foot down at the angle. Get long in your spine. Tone the left quad. Left hip pulls back. Breathe in. Lengthen. Exhale. Keep as much length and bow in deeper. Soften a bit, step the right foot back, perpendicular, and open into triangle pose. Breathe here. Your right hip might want to curl down a bit. That's great, but keep the right thigh back. Don't let your hip pop towards your big toe. Then from your lower belly, twist up. Take your shoulder blades down the back. Open up your heart, open up your pose, open up the breath, and communicate. From the strength of your legs, let your right arm inhale you up. Parallel your left toes. Goddess. I think we're adding another goddess here. It's okay. Good, strong pose. 5-pointed star. Left toes parallel, right foot steps to the left. Inhale up and crescent over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, heart center. We're going to go through one more. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, left. Inhale up and step to 5-pointed star. Goddess. Feel the hips energy here. Maybe you want to sway a little bit. Or sink in a little lower. And then 5-pointed star, let the legs find a pause. Left toes to the front of the mat. Right heel kicks back. Triangle pose. Told you I didn't like these. Okay, how does triangle feel now? We've done it a bunch. Look down, step the right foot in, angle the toes more forward, Parsvottanasana. My body has opened up to this very nicely now. Take a moment to engage your quads and pull the left hip back, take a huge breath into your heart, and then exhale, bow and fold. Pick up the right heel, shimmy the right foot back, drop the knee, any arms, Anjaneyasana. Cross my hands around the back this time. Skandasana, left arm comes around inside the leg. You might pivot your toes on a diagonal to take the right knee up and come down. Open to lotus if you can. Hands to the floor, bring yourself to the center, heels kick in, goddess. Sway it. 5-pointed star. Skandasana to the right. Hands come down, set the feet, get the distance you need, anchor into the right side, left heel hugging in tight, maybe the arms come up, lotus. Anjane to the right. I'm gonna clasp my hands around the back again this round. Open the heart, pull the ribs in, push into the floor, curl open. Frame your right foot, kick the left foot in, 2 straight legs, Parsvottanasana. Right hip pulls back, lengthen into your heart. Exhale, bow, let go of the head. Soften up a bit, step the left foot further away, perpendicular to the right, and open into Trikonasana. Press the left thigh back. Keep your hip in line with the ankle. Curl open from the lower belly. Tone your right quad. Open the neck and the throat. Right, when we have that strong foundation of the relationships we have in our life, including one with ourselves, right? The balance of Capricorn and Cancer here. We have that power. We have our power. We don't give it away. And that supports our heart. But now lengthen the throat. How do you creatively express yourself? Is it also in balance? Do you say what you need to say when you need to say it without overdoing things? Let your feet push into the floor, your left arm peel you up. Parallel right toes, 5-pointed star. And then left foot steps to the right. Inhale, reach up, crescent to the right. Inhale up, hands to the heart, halfway. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 5-pointed star. Goddess. 5-pointed star. Right foot, triangle pose. Notice. You won't stay as long as before, but just feel. How has it opened? Look down, pyramid. Huge breath in. Exhale, bow. Soften. Left knee comes down. Anjane. Skandasana, right arm inside the foot. Pick up the left. Maybe your right toes angle as opposed to staying square to the short edge. Maybe you find lotus mudra. Hands to the middle of the mat. 5-pointed star. Goddess. Skandasana to the left leg. Work the feet so you feel supported. Skandasana to the left. Anjane to the left. Release the hands, pyramid, right foot at an angle, 2 straight strong legs. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, heavy over the left leg. Soften, right foot goes back perpendicular, curl open, triangle pose. Notice how it feels. From your strong legs, let your right arm inhale you up. 5-pointed star. Let's add in another goddess. Why not? It feels so good. 5-pointed star. Kick the heels out. Right foot steps to the left. Inhale up. And exhale left. Inhale center. And exhale hands to the heart. All right, that's 2 full rounds of our moon salutation. Take a moment in Tadasana. Whatever feet you like, hip width or together. Press the thighs back and tone your quads. Find neutral curves of the spine. Tone the lower belly. Lift the arm bones, pull them back, then drop them down. Any arm variation you want here. Try to pull the throat back and then lengthen up through your crown. 3 breaths. Good. Face the short edge of your mat. Inhale, reach out and up. Soften your knees to fold with a straight spine, and then step to plank into table. And we're coming right into pigeon. Right knee wide. Crawling the left leg back. That moon salutation did so much good work in my hips. My hip is never on the ground in pigeon, and yet here it is. I love these little pieces of evidence that change was created and made. Right? Open up the front of the left hip, sending the heart center up, shoulders down. And when you're ready, neutralize the spine, chin in, ribs in, shoulder blades in to fold. Coming down as low as you want. And we're just going to take 10 breaths for now, just. But breathe into your sensation, breathe into your right hip, connect to the right side of your hip, the masculine. The ways in which you assert yourself and stand up for yourself and use logical thought and intellectual thought. How do you put yourself out in the world? That's our Capricorn energy, right? Your responsibility outside of the home. Does that feel like it's in balance? Do you feel like you want to do more for the collective? Maybe you can volunteer some time to just helping to get people registered to vote. I had a little conversation at the dinner table last night to my daughter's boyfriend, who's just recently 18, and I had just gotten my absentee ballot, and he was like, I'm not going to vote. And it is now my mission to get him registered to vote. But there are small things you can do if you feel like you need to do more, to be more active in the community. Clearly wasn't counting, so let's take 2 more breaths. Hug into the belly, come on up. We're going to crawl the left knee in, and then slide the right foot to the back of the mat. Open the back of the knee and press the heel back like we did before. And then we're going to take side plank here. So there's so many variations. But I want you to take your left hand forward of the shoulder first. And here's our first variation. Left shin and right foot kick to the left. Right foot's parallel to the back of the mat. And the right arm comes up. And it can stretch overhead. If that feels good, you can pick up the left knee and maybe just cross your leg and hold yourself up here. Or tuck your left foot under your right and find more regular Vashisthasana or side plank. 1 more breath. Look down, right hand comes down, tabletop. You need a cow cat or just a moment. battery's gonna die now. I have about 12 videos to put together for you to make this one class. It's okay, I'm gonna figure it out. We're moving, going with the flow of things. Left knee wide for pigeon. Point your toes, crawl the right leg back any amount. Come up on fingertips. Keep the hips squared, open the heart, open the back bend. Take the shoulders down. Chin comes in, ribs come in, shoulder blades pull back, hold with a neutral spine. 10 breaths here, or we'll just kind of try and feel the same amount of time. Now breathing into what you feel on your left hip, the mother, the feminine. This is our intuitive knowledge. The feminine hip here, the left, in pigeon. This is our introspection, the time with ourselves, the quiet stillness. Stay a bit active in the feet, clicking down as many toenails, hugging the upper thighs together. Let's take 3 more breaths. Hugging into the belly, walk the hands in. Crawl the right knee in. Slide the left foot to the back of the mat, opening the knee. And then pivoting left heel and right shin behind you, right hand forward of the shoulder. Left arm lifts up. You can stay here. Or pick up the right knee and maybe wrap it around the left. Or tuck it underneath the left and lift from the right hip. Look down, come on down to tabletop. Give yourself a moment, maybe a cow cat. Wiggle. And we're gonna make our way onto the back. So we're just gonna do one big back bend, one long back bend. And there's always a block for you if you need or want it. But set the feet close to the hips, hip width apart. Roll the pelvis a bit forward and then wiggle the shoulder blades in and underneath you. So the upper arm is really anchored and the curvature of your lumbar spine is there. And also your upper back's already in a little back bend. Right, then from there, inhale, lift it up. Feel like you can do anything with your arms to help them get more underneath the ribs, which helps the ribs get more vertical. And then find the root from your feet, upper arm and back of the head. Maybe the chin wants to lift a little bit. Anchor into the ground. Use the back muscles, the backs of the legs, hamstrings, glutes, spine, and even the back of the head, back of the neck, floating you up. And when we engage the back of our body, we soften the front of our body. When we are wise to where we've been in this world, we are more open in the present and more guided to the future. 3 more breaths. Slowly come on down. Try not to flatten your lower back as you come down. Once you're down, let your shoulders come out. Your shoulder blades are flat. Cactus or to your arms and walk your feet wide and let your knees come together. Just pause, receive, breathe. Lifting the knees over the feet, windshield wiper side to side. Bring your feet and knees together. Pick up your hips, take them over to the right. Draw the knees up and then lower them to the left. Try to keep the right shoulder anchored down. You can keep your gaze over to the right. But even here, feel that the legs are a bit active. Hug your thighs together and pull them back. Notice how that feels for you. It always makes this more comfortable for me and also deeper. My legs got a little heavier in that twist. And then inhale to center, pick up your hips, take them off center to the left, knees come up and lower to the right. And then try to anchor through the left shoulder. Hug the thighs together, pull them back, looking over to the left, and breathe. Hugging into the belly, bring your feet and knees back to center, pick up the hips, take them back to center. And then any symmetrical pose with the knees or the legs. I'm gonna just draw them in and take them a little bit wide. You might want happy baby pose. Maybe a sway in either of them. One of those feels good. You can straddle the legs. Give your lower back a little massage. So either leg variation, happy baby, or just hugging the knees in. Compress the lower back. Give it some love. And then let's see if plow works today. So yeah, I have a little pad underneath me now. Anchor the shoulder or feet hip width. Work the shoulder blades in and down. Keep your chin at midline. Don't look side to side. And make sure if you get any sort of weird visual thing or anything audible in your ears, it's immediate, come down. Okay? It's intense stretch for the back of the body. So hands anchor down outside the hips. Roll the pelvis forward, wiggle the arms like you did in for bridge. Bring the knees in, push the floor away and lift. You can bring your hands right to your hips. Letting the feet reach overhead, tone the quads, keep the legs active, and maybe they come to the floor. I like to clasp my hands and get my arms more underneath, helping to get the spine more vertical. Don't let your neck be pushed flat. Lift your chin a bit, lift your tail, breathe. Open the breath into the back of your body. Open the communication to get wiser of those past experiences. They shape us, they change us, but they do not define us. They are just small parts of who we are. And then hug your belly in. Hands on the hips can help guide and give the spine its support to come back down. And then just let the legs stretch up from the hips. Bending into the knees, give them another squeeze. And we're going to come right into Shavasana here. So legs extend long on the mat. Let them go a bit wide. Feel like your sacrum is flat. So when you have your lumbar curve in your neck and shoulder blades nice and flat under the heart, give the hips a little wiggle. Walk the arms a little bit wider away from the ribs so your ribs don't feel the arm bones presence. It's just more free and open through the breath without forcing anything or trying. It just happens organically. Really just drop into the mat. Feel your whole body is melting into the ground, held by the earth, caressed by Mother Earth, always supporting us. Feel the cadence of your breath in its autonomic state. You don't have to think about it or do anything to it. It's just there. If you're super happy in your Shavasana and you don't want to move, I don't blame you, and I invite you to stay. Otherwise, start to tap into a more conscious open breath and small movements of wiggling fingers and toes, make fists, roll the wrists, roll the ankles. Inhale the arms overhead. I like my feet to come together and point the toes and arch the lower back. And wiggle out of the waist a bit. Give the knees a squeeze. Give yourself the love that you deserve. Some love for the lower back. Finding your way back to sit. Prop up the hips if you feel you are not comfortable and not grounded or lifted through the heart. This full moon allows us to release the overwhelm of overthinking and overanalysis, our low vibrations of emotional neediness, caring what others think, judging ourselves or others, and making decisions that support only ourselves and not serving our community or the greater good. They integrate our intention and balance self-care with tending to others. We create a harmony to find our foundation rooted in what matters most to us. Our inner compass becomes free of disrupting emotions and shows us how to spend our time. We create balance in our lives, making time for self-care, work, friends, and passion. We tend carefully to our needs and the needs of others. We understand the connection of all beings and make decisions for the unified collective. This integration of the energies allows us to nourish our roots while making sure our branches, which extend to the world, match. Draw your hands in front of your heart. Tune back into your own intention or that image of it. Take a moment to feel your hips. Notice how they feel. Notice what other things have changed through this practice today. And take that as evidence in your power to make change. Never stop. Harness the power of this Capricorn full moon. And find the harmony between self and others. The light in me sees, reflects, and honors the light in you. To you I bow. Namaste. Blessings to you, my friend.